Hey guys, welcome back. Another video from Widow's RC. This time, I know I said before in the last video of the Baja Rebirth, the final episode of that, there's another buggy slash Baja, whatever you want to call them, that's in the process. So now I'm waiting on some parts to come through for that, but in the meantime, I'm going to do a video on this bad boy, which I've had for quite a while now. Some of you would have seen this in previous videos. I come across a little issue the other day when I was running this. Now I apologise in advance for the, once you get close up look at the chassis, I haven't actually had a chance to clean it down, but the issue I have with this thing at the moment is I was driving this truck and all of you know that these motors, they've got the centrifugal clutch in them. It all of a sudden was driving it and then it didn't want to stop. So to me it sort of seemed like it was like a clutch issue or clutch spring or something like that, which may have let go or something in the drivetrain from the motor side of things. Now one thing I did find when I took this truck over earlier, I'm going to show you something here. It's a little bit dark, but what you can see there. Now to me that looks a little bit like the end of the little loop or hook on the end of the clutch spring. So to me, I think we might be looking at something along the lines of maybe the clutch spring's let go and it's allowed the shoes to just, come apart or fall outwards, if you want to call it that, and grabs hold of the clutch belt itself. So what we're going to do today is we're going to strip this down, and I'll have you guys along so we can go through it, because some things like this may help some of you out there with fifth scale RCs and stuff like that, which all run very similar engines and very similar drivetrains, except this being a monster truck, a little bit different. But the basic clutch setup on a lot of these fifth scales are pretty much the same. So, the Maverick, it has been a really good truck, and I'm hoping to get some actual running videos for you guys to have a look at. So anyway, spinning it around, now what we've got on this side, the drivetrain through here. Now a lot of you guys have seen these trucks before, very similar to the Red Cat, Rampage, the Red Cat, whatever the buggy's called, not too sure, very similar drivetrain, along with the FS as well and the HSPs, all that sort of stuff. They're very similar setup, very similar. Alright, so moving along, what we will do, take the body off. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start pulling some of the stuff off so we can get access to the clutch bell inside. Now, I'm going to grab my glasses. So, here we go. Let's start pulling this cover off. And this is where all the gears are from the clutch bell through the drive gears and all the rest of it that goes on into the center diff in there. So, we'll just rip this off. Okay, so boom, there we go. There's the drive gears. Now, the difference between this model, which is, I got this in 2017, which we're now in 2018, so Christmas, December 2017. These are all steel gears, versus the old ones, like the Red Cat, the original Red Cats had and everything else, were plastic. All three gears were plastic. So now that they're all steel, so all good. Righto, so what I need to do now, to get access to the clutch bell, which is in behind this plate, in here, I'm going to pull these gears off. I'll just quickly grab some tools here. Find the correct size on these. No, that's too small. Now I need to, what I'm going to have to do, by the looks of this, is I'm going to have to remove, what do we got here? Probably these two, and this one here. So if I can actually get a hold of this, undo them. So all they're just the nylock nuts. They do up. Take the nut off and the washer. So now we should be able to slide off this center one, like that, whoops, thing. So center one, as you see, got that square drive in there. Now, while I'm going with that socket, I'll rip this one off too. I can hang on to it enough. Yep. Now these things don't necessarily need to be Loctite, because, like I said, they've got the Nylock nut, meaning, drop that, meaning threaded nut with the plastic in the ends, as you can see there, the plastic in there. So it's another way of holding it in place. All right, so now I should be able to pull that one off. Well, another square drive. Okay. What I should need to do now, should be able to find the size of that one, which should be the right size. Now I'm going to undo these. Get him in there. Okay, so here we go. Now these ones, oh god damn it, tight. Just bear with me, guys. Oop. Just bear with me for a sec, guys. I may have to actually use. That's probably not the right size, so I'll get an actual Allen key. Now you do get Allen keys with your truck, so when you buy them, you get like a full set of keys. So you're probably better off using those straight up, and they are tight. That is tight for obvious reasons. Yes, it is tight. If I can actually get it loosened off and get it out of there, because I need to get access to this clutch. I'm starting to hit me. Okay. I'm doing it. That is tight. But yes, anyways, like I said before, it just wanted to drive, and if you start it, and then you apply the brakes, the motor almost nearly stalls. So to me, that sort of sounds like a clutch spring may have let go. And looking at that piece that I showed you, I would say that's probably what's happening, because it doesn't allow the drive to disengage when it's not under throttle, under power. Jeez Louise, that is tight. Oh Lord. So this one here, obviously this one has a lot of Loctite in there. Moving along, let's keep this going. I don't want to break it. That is tight. It is very tight. I'll try and get this one here out, because it also has to come off. Okay, that one's loose, so I can undo that one out. Now all these things do, these grub screws, is just lock it onto the shaft. The shaft has a flat section on it, so when I pull this off, pull this idler gear in the middle off, and see they've got the square drive, sits in there, and because the grub screw, if you can see that little flat section on that shaft there, grub screw screws into that, locks it in place. Excuse me. Actually, I think I'm going to have to pull that one off too by looks, because I've got to take this whole, if you can see here, I'll take this whole plate off, this whole plate through here, and it comes right back to where the brake setup is, all this here. So I might just, sorry guys, this is the first time I've had this truck apart, pull this side of the truck apart, so like I said before, just bear with me. And, okay, pull this one off, and that gear should come off, and there you go, there's another square drive there. Okay. Now what I'll do, I may not have to pull that off yet, but what I'm probably gonna have to. I'm gonna start undoing this plate, and we'll see where we go to from there. So, alright. Now I'll start attacking these three bolts here. There's that one. All tight too. Ooh, I was lifting the front of the truck up there. Get that bloody thing off. Righto, so they're loose. Now what I'm going to do is I've got some bolts underneath. If I can flip that up a little bit, I can show you. Okay, underneath there, right now, underneath here, we have, I think, let me just quickly check. Righto, so 1, 2, 3. Them three there. Has to come out next. If I can actually find where's the bit for that. Now let's have a look. Righto. So now, see, these three are the bottom three bolts for this case. For this case brace, whatever you like to call it. So I'll undo these next. Whoop. Now these ones don't need Loctiting because they actually screw into plastic. So that whole panel there, brace, is plastic. So generally they're okay. But like all big fifth scales and stuff like that, even your smaller stuff, nitros, whatever you're running, you should always run over all your nuts and bolts, and just to make sure that everything's all tight. So there's nothing worse than going out for a run and you got a screw falls out, and then cuts your day short because you haven't got any spares to get it back going again. So especially these guys. Okay, so that's them three out. I'll put him back down. Righto. Undo these. Now these ones go right through past the clutch bell into the engine case. Right, these three. One thing I may have to do yet too is, if you can see here, sorry for the light guys, it's a little bit dark, it's late in the afternoon, and the rain's coming, so your block here goes right through into your engine casing. So there's those ones. Now I think I may have to, by the looks of this, yeah, there's two Allen screws right there, 1 and 2. I may have to get them out as well. So let's try undoing these. I have to give myself one of those bloody electric screwdrivers, or those battery operated bloody screwdrivers. Make life a lot quicker and easier, I'll tell you that much. Now, I don't know if this one's gonna. Where are you? Get in there. See how this goes. That's actually lifting that whole bloody thing up there. There's another little screw in there too. I might have to undo it. There's another little tiny little screw right next to it there, and I think that may be attached to this plastic bracket here. So I'll just undo it as well. Save any hassles. There we go. Got him out the road. I'll just take him away. Back to that one. That's not even the right one. Bloody hell. Here we go. Now I'm back on it. I've got the right one this time. So I should be able to get some movement out of this plate now. Okay. So I've got some movement there. Righto. One thing, I've got a sneaky suspicion I'm going to have to take these off. So anyway, I'll pull these bolts out. Now, take note of things. When you pull things apart, sometimes it helps to take photos. What or in this case we're videoing, so it should be okay. We can check on later. So, but you know, take notice of everything where they go. Well, they're the same length. Possibly this one will be the same as well. Yep, that's all good. Just helps when you go to put it back together. Interesting. I shouldn't need to take that off, but I think I'm going to have to undo this one here. So I can find me Allen key again, and this little grub screw in here. That's not even the right one. Play. What am I doing? Might be able to use the ratchet screwdriver for these. If I can see, it's getting a bit dark. It's getting hard to see, guys, isn't it? Let me just I should have done this a bit earlier, actually. Right, so that's loose. Boom, there we go. If I can get him out. That comes off. Right, square drive. Doesn't want to come off then, yeah? Righto, good. Okay, now, see if we can actually pull this off here now. Okay, so that's all coming loose. Let me just double check in here. That's actually got a drive on there. Okay, so that's fine. It's just an idler gear or type of sorts, if you want to call it that. I'm going to have some dramas here, I think, because we've got a little lip here. A little kick up on the chassis plate right here. It kicks it up. If that was flat, you'd be able to just slide it straight out, but because it isn't, I think it may cause some dramas in getting that out. So what I'm going to have to do is, there's 2 more screws on this center diff top plate here. Sorry, the brake disc top plate, so I'll loosen them off so I can get a bit of room here. If I can get to them. One thing you may have to, that's too small, you may have to pull the roll cage on this so you can get to it. But let's just try. We'll try this first. If we have to, we have to. Where is it? Just start to play games with me here. Whoops, don't lose that. That's the piece of hose separator. You can see that there. Now, try and get down in there. Not really ideal. Alright, what I've got to do is maybe go through here. Try not to bend anything. Get on there. Like that. Righto, we're on. Now, I don't know if this is, I'm just trial and error, guys. Like I said, just bear with me because I haven't had this truck apart, like at least at this stage, you know. It's all fairly new, so we're learning together. I'm trying to see what's going on there. What have we got going on there? So. Trying to get enough room to get this out. Here we go. We've got a bit of movement happening here. Just wiggle, wiggle. Being careful not to damage your bearings. All right. This moment of truth. Just as I suspected, guys. As you can see in here, inside the clutch bell, right? All looks pretty good. A little bit dusty, which is expected. You know, it's a centrifugal clutch. So that's the whole plate off there. Right, that's off. Now, putting that to the side. Now if you zoom in here, I'll bring the camera in close. Now, if you see the clutch, there's your 2 shoes, your 2 retaining bolts, one shoe there, which is, it's worn a little bit actually, one there. If you can see right there, have a look at that. Broken clutch spring, okay? So, if I bring this piece in here, now what it would have looked like before, this piece, would have went, hang on, I'll make it a bit easy for you guys to see. Now, a lot of you guys would already seen this and know, you know, yep, I get it, I see what's going on. But here we are, the broken piece. Now what would have happened is, that piece would have been on there, and would have went into that hole. Anyway, you get the idea. Hook went around to there. So what is actually happening now is, when you start it, this is already coming out like that. It's spreading like that, contacting the clutch shoes. If you can see it here, so I'll bring the camera around a bit better so you can see it. Okay, righto. Now here we go. Your 2 clutch shoes how they work, which a lot of you guys will know, some newbies out there, this will give you as an idea. It works the same way with your little nitros and all that sort of stuff as well. But in your two strokes, this is what you got. You get your two shoes, spring in the middle, and as you can see it real good now as to where this piece was broken off here, because the hook goes from that into that little hole. Now what happens is, now that that's broken, you know, like you can see that when you start it, it'll do that. It does that, and there's no spring to pull it back together. The spring keeps it together like that until you give it some revs. And the whole idea of this spring is to hold the shoes together so there's no drive until you give it some throttle. So when you give it some throttle, what'll happen is the two shoes spread like that. But in this case, because that's broken, it doesn't allow that to stay in the middle. When you start it, that will just fall out like that. Falls out. So in this case, it looks like I'm up for a new clutch spring. So anyways, now that we've found the problem, we know what the problem is. So I mean, this is like I said, this is only, what are we now? We're in March. This truck's probably 4 months old, I suppose now. 3 to 4 months old. Could just be a faulty spring or what have you. So now I've got to chase up a spring. So I'm probably going to end the video here to the point where I need to find myself another spring. So, and any suggestions? Like, I'm not even 100% sure what the spring rating on this one was. Now, if I go to the manufacturer, I can probably get another one. But we'll see. I might do a bit of research, because being a monster truck, it did take a few revs. Like, to me, it sounded like it was an 8,000 RPM clutch. We'll see. I'll check it out. I'll get back to you on my next video. Possibly, well, I'm going to reinstall this thing. But for now, we'll leave it at that. A good truck overall, in other words, but it's an easy fix. You saw how easy it was to pull this thing apart. The shoes look okay. Maybe I'll put a new set of shoes in too while I'm going. But at the end of the day, pretty easy fix. So that's it. We'll see you in the next episode. From Widows RC. I've got some other things coming up, so it should be pretty good. You might be able to see in the background, I've got another fifth scale in the background, another project, which is actually my son's fifth scale FG. But that's a whole other thing. That will be a build video. When I've finished all these other projects, we'll do a video series on that thing. It will be a stripped down rebuild. I want to get some alloy parts for it. So anyway, moving on. I'm just rambling now, so that'll be a whole other thing. But next time, we'll be putting this back together and give it a drive. See the difference. So until next time, stay tuned. We've got more coming, guys. And I'll see you in the next episode of Widows RC. Catch you then.